Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all fandoms, welcome to the Ferret and Raccoon podcast, episode 32. I am Ace.
I'm Ferret.
And I'm the Angry Raccoon. Yeah, so, we're all back again for the, technically the last podcast of, I'm going to say last February. I'm living in the past.
Yeah, I'm still thinking it's February as well, though.
I thought it was going to be the end of the year.
I mean,
it's the end of the year podcast.
It sounded like you're building up to the final one.
No, I mean, I've been living in the past because for the last 2 weeks I've just been working on university work. So, dates and times mean nothing to me until the day this podcast goes up, which is when one of them would have been handed in. So it'd be really nice if anyone who is watching and is listening would be like, "Oh, well done for stressing through that." But yeah, we're back for the next podcast, and we have a pretty. I don't know. I was about to say triggered podcast, but I don't think we're getting triggered. I think there's more triggerings going on with people regarding a lot of this stuff. But this podcast is going to be a blast. But before we actually get into the topics, anything that we've been up to, anything you want to talk about, what you've been doing? Do I need to guess what anyone has been doing? Anyone want to throw it out there?
I've got something I'm doing, and then something you can guess I've been doing. So
Sure.
I'm going to talk about the first thing first. I've been doing a retail course, so I can get a part-time job and stuff while I'm doing my photography.
Lovely.
So that's been going really good. Having a lot of fun with that. There's guy goes by a name like Ferret, funnily enough, or Shinobi, and he's been cool hanging out there, and I've been acing everything. So living up to my name.
That's good to hear.
Really fun, and should be getting a job interview. Well, I'm getting a job interview this week.
Are we getting a job, you mean?
Yeah, I will get that
yeah.
job. Yeah.
Positive thinking.
But that's good to hear, though.
Yeah.
You've got to get that cheddar. I mean, no matter how it is. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of younger audiences listening who are probably like, "Oh, why would you work with something like that?" And it's like, come on, guys, you need to grow up and you need to understand and learn what happens in the world. But
Exactly.
whatever. What was the other thing? What do we need to guess what you've been doing in that sense or watching?
Gaming.
Gaming, okay.
Oh.
So, yeah, you want to do the gaming thingy thing?
Oh, yeah. So what have you been watching, Ace?
Watching, playing.
Playing.
Oh. Okay, triggered, man. You messed up. That triggers me.
Alright.
No, I've been playing Deus Ex Human Revolution, the Director's Cut.
Okay.
Oh, lovely job.
And I've done a almost perfect playthrough so far, because I'm doing full ghost, full Foxes to the Hound, so no alarms, no one sees me, don't take out anyone. And it's going damn good.
Is it tricky?
It is tricky, especially with the DLC, the Missing Link. That bit is tough, because they take away every augmentation you've got.
Oh, bloody hell.
And I've been trying to do the Factory Zero challenge as well, which means don't augment while you're doing the DLC. So, bloody horrible. But it's a good challenge, and I'm actually enjoying it. It's fun having a challenging game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something you don't get too often nowadays. I mean, the next most challenging game I can think of is Fire Emblem Fates, but we'll talk about that later. But that's good to hear. Deus Ex Human Revolution was a fantastic game, to say the least. I mean, I
had some trouble spots with the boss battles.
The bosses are a bit of an issue, but having played the Director's Cut, would you say they're improved?
Oh, they are massively improved, because if you've set yourself as a stealth guy, you just sneak away and set up traps and stuff. Or you can hack anything and you'll get turrets to fight for you. So it makes it perfect for that.
That was the only downside to the original game. When I remember playing it, I didn't know what to do on that first boss. I was like, what is this? He just shoots you down as soon as the match starts.
Exactly.
And you're like,
in this dev, it actually give you a few seconds before he spots you, so you can sneak away, which makes it a lot.
And the rest of the bosses were just a bit weird. I remember there was a boss I didn't even know I was fighting.
Oh yeah, the invisible one, yeah.
Yeah, we won't say gender or race or name or anything just for the sake of spoilers, because it is a fairly new game. We don't like to spoil anything that's less than 10 years old.
Yeah.
But there was one boss where I didn't even know it was a boss. I thought I was being attacked by enemies.
Oh yeah.
Because that enemy decides to appear and reappear. So literally, I was just going through the cabinets, just picking all the stuff up. And every now and then I was seeing an enemy, and I was just literally throwing a grenade, which was like, no, I need to get this stuff. Because I guess I thought it was like a timer or something like that.
Yeah.
And then halfway through, going through the drawers, I see the boss die, and I'm like, what? Why are they giving that random character? And I was like, oh, he's like, oh, you defeated her. I was like, oh, okay. not good bosses. I mean, you can look at all the various ways to beat those bosses. Like the most hilarious one was how.
Oh yeah, for the third boss guy.
Where apparently if
you throw the grenades,
you throw grenades into before the cutscenes, and he dies as soon as.
As soon as it goes into the actual game, the grenades explode, kill him, auto. And it's terrible. Hilarious.
It is pretty funny, but it's good to hear you're enjoying that game.
Yeah.
Has it made you more interested in the next one?
It has and it hasn't, because this game's really good, and considering all the bullshit going around with Mankind Divided, it's like, oh, guys, why?
It's a bit concerning, I must say. Mainly because I think Square Enix is in charge of this game a little bit more, and whenever Square Enix gets involved, it's like, oh no.
Well, yeah, whenever any of their IPs become big, it's like, oh, now we're getting involved now.
Except for like Bravely Default. It's like one of the only ones they've kind of been like...
You've heard what they said about Bravely Second, though.
Let's step back a little bit, huh?
They're making it more linear.
Because that's what every RPG fan wants to hear.
Yeah. So as soon as Square Enix get their hands on something, and it becomes popular, they start changing it for the band.
So the plan is, if you really like a game, don't buy it, pirate it, and don't tell anyone it's a good game, basically.
Yeah.
If you want it to stay good.
Apparently, yeah.
That actually makes sense.
Which means they don't get any money.
I mean, you won't get a sequel, but at least you'd have one good game that underperformed.
Yeah. You can always say it's the underrated gem of your time.
I guess you could say that. Ferret, anything you wanted to talk about?
Oh, no.
No?
I haven't been doing much. I've just been banging out Metal Gear Solid 5. Yeah, I love that game. Love quiet actresses.
Oh, yeah.
She's beautiful beyond belief.
Yeah, I agree. Have you seen the photo of her, holding the quiet statue?
Yes.
She loves her face. She's so happy when she's with that statue. It's great.
Oh my god. And she's got a good stream, She's actually a fun streamer, so that's good. Yeah. You get fun commentary and fun stream, and then you get to look at her face all the time. So
Has she actually played Metal Gear Solid 5?
Yeah, that's the funny thing. It's good. I like that.
That must be a bit weird for her.
No,
I know
she loves it.
I remember when me and Ace were talking about a certain tweet about Zootopia, and there was an image of the woman who plays the rabbit, Judy Hopps, next to someone dressed up as I guess a mascot version of the rabbit character, and I was like, wow, that must be strange.
Yeah, exactly.
If that was me, I'd be like, this is a bit meta. I mean, I probably wouldn't be able to handle the idea of... I mean, I can't even handle the fact of listening to my voice on these videos. So having a character stand right next to me and it not be me would be like...
See, that's
strange.
See, if it was a character that was basically me and I voiced them and someone was cosplaying, I'd be like, I love you. It'd just be that pure ego and narcissism coming out. I'd be like, yes, thank you.
I don't know. I think I always find that situation quite funny because I know I've seen some voice actors and actors be like, "Oh, I can't play the game." I know the guy who voices Lewis from Left 4 Dead 2. He said how he can play the game, but he can't play as Lewis. I think he has to play as Lewis because he doesn't like the idea of his character dying.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's
so it can feel weird.
Yeah. Because he recorded scenes of him screaming and getting attacked and dying, so he's he feels the extra pressure not to die. But that's good to hear. For me, for the most part, like I've already said earlier on, I've been quite busy. I didn't really have much time to get any games played other than a little bit of Fire Emblem. But the only thing I did watch was a film that came out in I believe 2014, being Kingsman: The Secret Service.
Nice.
Which was a pretty damn good film. I was surprised how good it was.
Really?
This film is basically... you could say what Spectre should have been. But Kingsman is coming from a different point where it's more classic James Bond than it is new James Bond. And it's having more fun with it. Way more fun. I mean, it's serious. It's got all the gadgets and all that. And it's a more relatable story because it basically follows the Secret Service, Kingsman, and a bunch of some upper class looking British spy agents. Pretty much every British actor is in this to some extent, and bringing aboard the next generation to replace the fallen Kingsman and all that. And it's got a nice story in a sense, and the way where they leave it is even more interesting because I believe there will be a sequel. The film did very well, but I would highly recommend it. It's got it's just a fun film. I mean, if you love Kick-Ass, you'll love this film, and if you love
George, it's the same creator, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
George,
I can't remember if it's Matt Miller or Mark Miller.
I think it's Mark Miller.
Yeah, but his comic books are usually amazing. I love them, and all of his ideas are creative as hell.
Yeah, if you listen to the interviews he's always got like an interesting idea in some kind of sense, and he always kind of like talks to people about them. And Kingsman is a pretty cool idea, just having like someone who isn't of that kind of class within like the English system kind of become an upper class person through like becoming a spy, saving the world. And it has a lot of great stuff. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the funniest film, but it's funny in the sense where it doesn't need to be a comedy. It paces itself nicely. It's not like here's a joke, here's a joke, here's a joke, unlike other things we're going to talk about.
It's not like The Martian.
No, it's comedy of the year, right?
Yeah, I love that idea. That's brilliant.
Like, okay.
Still makes no sense.
Trapped on Mars, about to die.
But
why not make a few laughs about it?
Yeah. I was struggling to see the comedy in that film.
Yeah.
But it's not a laugh out loud film. There are some funny scenes, and the jokes are well placed and well done. I mean, there's a particularly funny one at the end, and they use the whole idea of the fact that it's British very well. Okay. They don't overdo it like let's say the Avengers film about the British spies, where the whole joke was that they're British.
Oh yeah. I know what you mean.
Oh god.
It's great though, and I think all the upcoming actors in there are going to go on to do great things. And also I mentioned Samuel L. Jackson is the main villain.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So what's his name again? Because I know it's something funny.
I don't know, but he's basically Bill Gates. Excuse me, Steve Jobs. He's basically
it something
Steve Jobs.
Valentine or something. His character's name.
Maybe.
Okay. I think it is.
He's basically Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Which is pretty funny, but yeah. It does kind of have like a like an end of the world kind of like ticking bomb element to it, but the stakes actually matter.
Okay,
that's good because they actually show you like what is going to happen if this goes down.
Yeah,
and even then it feels personal because by you get to that point, so much has happened that you're like, no, I really want these characters to do it. It literally feels like it's just those few characters that can save the world, not like Avengers where it's like, oh, we've got so many heroes and all that.
Yeah,
they're called like Superman.
Like no real spoilers. It comes down to like 3 people saving the world.
Okay.
And it's like you feel like
the tension.
Yeah, you feel it. But it's a great film. I can't wait for the sequel. Hopefully, it's I don't know if it's going to be based off another comic or what, but I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, so. We should probably move on to some stories and topics, but before we do that, we should probably mention the fact that it was kind of put in the description of the previous podcast, and that is the fact that we have an email address, which is you can hit us up if you want to ask us any questions, recommendations, kind of put your own feedback, discussion, stuff. So that you can get us at raccoonplusfriends@gmail.com. That'll be in the description of every podcast, as well as the download link. I also put that in there as well. So if you don't want to listen to the podcast via YouTube, straight away, as soon as it's up in your feed, download it. There you go, with all the relevant links that we talk about that aren't quite mentioned in this podcast. So, with that being said, and kind of like the roundup, shall we start with the first story, which, Ace, do you want to take the first one, which is regarding, an interesting one regarding Sega, for the most part?
Perfect. So recently Sega has been asking for the fans to fill out a survey on what they can do to improve. What do the fans want? And I did the survey, I went through, had a little look at everything they went through, and they were saying about what franchises you like, what ones you remembered, what you enjoyed as a kid, what does the name Sega mean to you, do you think it's innovative? And some, no. Consider it was nowadays, it was like, no, not really. And it was like, what? Oh, go ahead.
Why would they even bother saying when they think it's innovative?
I think just to root out fanboys, I guess.
Wow. Jeez.
But, and then there was like, what franchises would you like to see return? And there was stuff on there I forgot existed, like Knights. Knights.
Yeah.
Knights.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I was like,
and then, like Streets of Rage, which you forget Sega have.
I'm sorry, Ace. I just like Ferret's hand gesture right there. You can't see it on film, but it was pretty good when talking about Knights. But go on.
Yeah, but it's like Streets of Rage and other games you forget they have. Alex Kidd and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Golden Axe.
Gold.
Oh,
yeah, Golden Axe.
And so I was continuing through, and then I got to a bit that started concerning me, and it was like Sega and mobile games.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Would you like to sell your soul to Sega? How much would you pay Sega to develop mobile games?
Because it was like asking questions like, what consoles do you play on? And one of the options was mobile, and I was like, no. And
Well, that's just standard. You have to remember.
because I didn't tick mobile, and then it said, would you play a Sega mobile game? And I put no, and it's like, are there any mobile games you play? It was like, no.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't.
That is bad then. That's...
Not necessarily, because
it gets worse.
you have to just real quick. You have to remember that a lot of these bigger companies, they do make a ton of money, but you might, because I mean, you have to remember the thing that's going on in Japan right now is everyone in Japan has a mobile.
Yeah.
I think it was I think it's like China, which is the second largest country in the world to be domestically using mobiles, and I think Japan is like maybe 4th or 6th. The number one country, by the way, is India.
Yeah,
just to let you know. But it's you have to remember that is a big market.
Yeah.
And a lot of Japanese, casual masses and gaming audiences, they're finding it more relevant to have said game on a phone, mainly because they can make money off like purchases like that, and just due to the fact that the worry is, and a lot of people need to be worried about this, and the gaming industry, they won't tell you this, the Japanese market doesn't really give a shit about current generation games right now.
They really don't.
They don't. I mean, PS4 and Xbox One in Japan is like non-existent.
It's.
I mean, I feel sorry for the team, but like, yeah, you have to remember that is a market worth getting into.
Yeah. But there was a. Oh no.
No, you go.
No, don't worry.
Where are you going?
Okay. Well, one specific question, and the fact that it was so specific got me, and it was this: do you mind playing a mobile game if it has a lesser quality than a console game? And that was very specific. It's like, yeah. So they know that they'd have to make things worse to put it on mobile.
Obviously, they've just acknowledged limitations.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that's where it gets concerning.
Exactly.
Because the moment you start making mobile games, you're limiting the game's potential, in my opinion. And I think it's like, I see a lot of companies like famous one, Konami. They're going towards mobile games, and they're gonna obviously make really addictive, ways to sap out your money, and if you go down the road of mobile, it's only going to lead to hell. Yeah. Because you're going to have these cute little games, but they're going to drain every
Konami doesn't own anything
that
I would say is cute.
No, I'm talking about Sega though. Konami, push them away.
It's like there was this games conference thing going on at, I think a few years back, and when it came to mobile games, they didn't call people consumers, they called them whales.
Whales?
Yeah, so it was like just getting the money from the whales. Yeah. And that was it.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
But, well, considering they're calling you, the consumer, a whale, that's not funny. Yeah. So, when it comes to the mobile games, they don't really care about giving something good. That's a major problem.
Why should they?
Exactly.
Why should they? I mean, Angry Birds got so far on such an original idea. Same thing with original. Candy Crush. Huh?
I wouldn't call Angry Birds original.
I wasn't. I didn't.
You did say original idea.
Unoriginal game.
Oh, I thought you said original. Okay.
No, it's such an unoriginal concept. Okay. But and same with King, which basically is Bejeweled, or the predecessor before that. Yeah. Can't wait for that film. That's going to be interesting.
Bejeweled.
What? No, the Candy Crush film.
Candy Crush film? What?
It's not happening. I'm just obviously predicting.
Sorry. I was like,
if that was actually in the works, I would be laughing my ass off. Oh god.
It is. Don't even need confirmation for that to know it's happening.
That's weird.
It's like that awful Angry Birds movie that's coming out soon.
I was about to say it's not even out yet, but yeah. I still need to fill out the survey. I kind of forgot to, mainly because I want to give Jet Set Radio and Golden Axe and Alex
they
Kidd,
did mention Jet Set.
Some kind of love. Just kind of say, I still want those games, please. But Sega is a good company. They can be a bit weird sometimes, but the thing with Sega is you can kind of tell they don't really mean no harm a lot of the time.
No, they don't. Which is the sad part, and I do hope that they get some good feedback and they end up making some good games from this.
I view them as like
kids.
Yeah, they're
Like,
children.
They don't mean to like break a plate.
But they still do it.
And stuff like that.
Yeah. You know, they're trying to reach the cookie jar, but then they smash it.
Exactly. They don't mean to do stuff. They're just a bit thick.
Yeah.
They're sweet though.
Just
They're trying to help people.
Yeah. But then when they end up becoming like a 25-year-old child, then that's where the problem rises.
Hooked on cannabis like Konami.
Oh yeah.
That's Konami all the way.
Konami's hooked on stupid. That's what they're hooked on.
That's on crack actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter whether the reason they got rid of Kojima was because they didn't like him or because his last 3 outputs of games were disappointing. The fact of the matter is you're being malicious about it.
Yeah.
I just think they don't like him because Metal Gear Solid had a huge budget of like 50 million.
Yeah,
that's the main thing.
A budgetary reason was one reason.
You have that. You also have the fact that Revengeance took forever to get made.
And
it didn't do that well. Obviously, Ground Zeroes have to take into consideration. Also, the massive gap between games.
And I'd say that, I mean, obviously having played Metal Gear Solid 5, there seems to be so many bits where they could have put microtransactions, but it was stopped.
Yes,
like, you know,
exactly.
building your base.
Yes.
Yeah, instead of the timer, they could have added microtransactions to pay for
That's
it.
the thing, yeah. There was a lot of opportunity
Yeah.
with all that system, all by these new Ace plus.
Yeah,
Good
by a
characters.
perfect character.
Yeah,
that could happen, but it didn't.
It's peculiar. I mean, I see Konami making headlines for the wrong reasons for all of this
Yeah.
year, but oh well.
Yeah.
Right.
Just hope so. Sorry, Sega improves.
I think they will only have the capability. Sega doesn't have a shit ton of stuff, but when they do get something right, they get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'll take the next story, and that is regarding the fact that, interestingly enough, we are going to be getting a Big Hero 6 animated television series coming to Disney XD, which is one of the sub-series channels from Disney. It also showed like Gravity Falls and Star vs. Force of Evil and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting to hear. So it's going to be premiering in 2017, and it's basically going to be picking up where the well, they don't say any spoilers, but I will avoid as many spoilers as possible. But picks up right where the film ended. Basically following like Hero, Baymax, Wasabi, Go-Go, Honey Lemon, Fred, all those characters as they're basically going to be fighting villain of the week, who are going to be like these I think they said they were going to be like kind of like rivals within the Fransokyo, the college.
San Fransokyo.
Yeah, San Fransokyo's like college, and also like other villains who are like, oh, I'm technologically genius, I'm gonna take over the world. Which, very simple plot. I'm sure it'll be great. The only thing that I'm wondering about is how the animation's going to look.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Is it going to be like 2D, computer generated?
I think it is going to look similar to the DreamWorks shows like Rise of Dragons and Legends of Awesome.
So a bit downgraded then.
But those shows look great.
Yeah.
They look great. They don't run at 60 frames, but like they're going to look good. I think.
They're obviously not going to look as great as the movie and stuff. They're going to have to be downgraded a lot.
Obviously, I'm not expecting it to look like the film, but
I know. But like,
I think the most interesting fact is just simply the fact that they've considered to do it.
Yeah.
And of all the Disney properties, they went, Big Hero 6, that's the one that can be
the
a
thing
series.
is, I think that's a great choice.
Oh,
That's
it
the
is.
most potential,
It is.
isn't it?
One of the people who was tied to this, I think he was like art director or director of action, was Man of Action. Who worked on Ben 10, Generator Rex.
Yeah. Like 2 more things. It's like, will they have the same voice actors from the film? Because there could be a problem.
I think they could.
Okay.
I think they could. I mean, because not to be disrespectful to any of the actors, but I think they are not major actors.
Fred was.
Fred, but that's T.J. Miller.
Yeah.
And he was in Gravity Falls.
Oh yeah.
Which was on Disney XD.
Yeah.
T.J. Miller's more of a jokey kind of guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't really take things seriously.
Yeah.
So I guess he would be on board for that.
I think because I mean with I believe with the Legends of Awesome, which is the Kung Fu Panda show, the cast isn't there, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There is a concept image which has a very simple 2D image of Baymax, which I'm like,
I'm thinking it'll be in 2D, but I wouldn't really mind.
I hope not.
It'll look good still, in my opinion. But I think that's. Oh, I know that.
It would look really distracting, I think, because if they do a sequel, which I think it's been confirmed.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's
They
like,
can't jump from 3D to 2D then back to 3D because it's going to be like what happened. It's going to make the show look like a poor show, even if it's a good show.
But I was going to say about in 2014, Stanley said about a sequel, and there's been no news on that at all since then. So it's like, is this replacing the sequel, or is it going to help? In between.
Replace the sequel. I don't want a sequel to this film.
I don't mind as long as the TV show's good. Then I don't want a sequel. But if it's bad,
go on.
Yeah, I just hope they finish. I just hope they focus all this energy into the TV series. That's
just
way
make it
more
good.
potential
All the talent,
than another movie. Even though I wouldn't mind if there's another movie, I'd still go see it.
I wouldn't mind if it's a
good.
good film.
I mean, just fairly recently picking up the art of the book and seeing a lot of the concepts and sort of the illustrations and all that, I would be down for a sequel. But regardless, I mean, it's cool. If we're getting new ideas from this TV show, that's fine. I don't want to see them do Big Hero 6 again with the sequel. You know what I mean? Villain of the Week is fantastic for this show because they implied that at the end of the film.
It's true.
You know what I mean? That was very much a without spoiling too much. But so we'll see the coming events for that. Ferret, do you want to take the next story, which is a slightly more explicit kind of... Well, we've got to keep it safe for work, but just kind of get everyone caught up on this situation.
I'll just use innuendos. Innuendos? What's that mean? Innuendos. Alright.
Innuendo.
So, this one is a very interesting story that will make your ears tickle. There's a scene director went onto 4chan one day and he posted, "I'm trying to make a porno. Can anyone help me?" And 4chan replied with a list of different memes and helped make the script.
I believe he was looking for memes as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's specifically looking for memes and helped to write a new one and a new porno.
Mm-hmm.
And only recently the porn's actually come out as it's actually been released, so it was truthful, and they've made a porno on memes
now
made by 4chan.
If you want to see how bad the safe for work kind of ish, I honestly wouldn't recommend watching it, but
it's just
the implications I'm worried about. I mean,
everything is censored, like even verbally. It's more context and.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Well, we're gonna link it anyway, but just bringing back up the link, it does have a content warning anyway. So
PG, parental guidance.
Yeah. So meet the banners, meme lover.
Meet the Banes.
Excuse me, Banes. Oh god, just thinking about it is so annoying. But yes. We'll just let you know because this is such a bizarre case, really.
I did watch the trailer, not the actual thing. Yes.
Isn't it paid, though?
Oh, I have no clue. I haven't looked out, but I actually kind of laughed at the ending bit. It was so dumb.
Oh, yeah, that was beautiful. I love that bit.
Like, the whole eating food thing was so dumb. But,
God.
Yeah, I'm surprised this actually happened.
I am, too. We just thought we'd mention it just to, just this ridiculousness. We just thought we'd just get it out there in a sense.
Like, with all this talk, are we ever going to get sponsored by Pornhub? Because, we big them up a lot.
That's true.
I think we've covered them like 3 times now.
I think it's a bit more than 3.
I mean, I'm looking for a job on the side. So...
Hit us up. You know what that email is. It's raccoonplusfriends@gmail.co.uk.
We could do a porn parody of this.
Yeah.
Wait, it's just 3 guys though, actually. So.
Oh no.
For gay viewers and fans, there we go. Even though it won't star us, that's the main
people
thing.
based off us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or they could do is it Rule 63 where it's like male is female or
They switch it about.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who
Just
knows?
do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Speaking of gender bending and switching of genders, let's talk about something that probably destroyed the internet. I believe on the 3rd of March, and that was something I knew was going to happen, and because I knew the date was coming because they did like a weird trailer for the trailer.
Yeah.
But it is essentially the Ghostbusters trailer, the 2016 trailer, which released, and I think the internet was set ablaze, like I've already mentioned. So I think, who wants to start talking about this trailer. Anyone want to start? Because
Gives me shivers.
I'm trying to think of. Okay, I'm gonna say good things first.
okay, let's start with the good.
Yeah.
Like we assumed
yeah.
everyone's seen it by now,
Yeah.
but just in case, it's in the download, it's in the description, so go watch it.
So,
Pause, and now let's talk.
So the car, that it's a hearse. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Some of the technology and weapons, that looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it.
That literally is it.
Yeah.
Like just to expand, I mean, the fact that the car was actually different is fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. It makes sense. I'm sure they're going to do some kind of crazy idea where one of them is in the hearse and they're zapping ghosts while
yeah.
it's driving and stuff like that.
Or there'll be like a ghost, like a body in the back, and then a ghost comes out or something.
I
They'll
mean,
do that.
the weapons I really liked because if you remember me talking a while ago on this podcast, I was getting annoyed with the fact that
It's
thing-
just the same proton pack.
yeah, the same proton pack, which I believe it's slightly more different now, so they must have changed it at some point.
Because it's more exposed on the back.
It's
And
more exposed and looks more simplified.
If
which is
you've played the
okay.
Ghostbusters game, you might get a kind of feeling of deja vu.
To some extent, and I mean, I was happy to see that. Like, it seems as though design and product has pretty much they have free range.
Yeah.
Because we see the proton packs, they look different. We see the hearse, they look different. We see new equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was this weird bear trap, which I was like,
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool. I like that. You see, what I do remember saying this. And Melissa McCarthy's character has these things on her hand, and she is punching ghosts.
Yeah.
I recall saying on the podcast, "Why don't one of them just put it on their fist and start capturing ghosts with that?"
Exactly.
So I called that, and all the other equipment seems like that's the original part of this film.
Yeah.
I will go a little bit further and say the only other good thing about this trailer was the fact that there's one scene which is the best scene in the trailer, and that was a scene where one of them's like walking past all the heads on the shelf,
Right.
and one of them's like pretending to be a head, and she scares her. That scene was great. The reason why that scene was great was because it felt natural. It felt like something friends would do.
Yeah.
Even during a situation where they're probably trying to save the world, a fight goes, it felt legit. It didn't feel like a joke.
Yeah.
The rest of the film felt like every line was a joke except for that scene.
I will say one bit made me laugh, but that's because I'm immature. And that's when they, like, the guy turns the, like, computer around, it's got the logo of the ghost with boobs.
Yeah,
And
that
I
was
laughed at just because I was immature at that.
that was from the international trailer,
Yeah.
aka the holy shit, people really don't fucking like this trailer. Let's see if we can try and get more positive views
Yeah.
if we put a different cut. Which didn't work.
Yeah, but that bit made me laugh because I was immature, and that was kind of it. Like, their whole, kind of, oh, it's a man kind of thing was like, no, that's not needed.
There was a bit of
Like,
that in there.
it
as
was
well.
implied,
Yeah,
it
was
wasn't
a lot of
said.
it.
I think we should probably any thoughts you want to just throw down real quick for it. 'Cause it doesn't
I'll wait till we get to the hateful bit.
now,
That's
yeah.
what we've got.
I think
Yeah.
we're literally about to talk about that, and I think a lot of people don't like this trailer for various reasons.
And it's not because they're women.
No,
Oh my
there are
God.
people. I will say there
No,
are people
definitely
who
isn't.
don't like this trailer because they're women,
Yeah.
and those people need to go to hell.
Yeah, they're sexist.
The people who
Chauvinist.
are telling people that if you don't like the trailer, you're racist and sexist.
Yes.
You need to go to hell.
Exactly, they should both go to hell.
Deeper than hell, in my opinion.
I don't know
Yeah,
what's deeper than hell, but
No, Dispater, I think, or Dispater. That's deeper than hell.
Well, he said.
they should go there. But like, I don't want to see this film. I don't like this film. I have no problem with the females being, well, the main cast being
Yeah.
females. I'll talk about my main issue with this trailer, but I partly be echoing some stuff. You need to calm down, people. This trailer is getting unnecessary hate.
Mm-hmm.
Is this trailer bad? Yes.
It's
Will this
pretty
film
bad.
be bad? Maybe.
Terrible.
Maybe.
It's 50-50 so far. It
I'm
could actually
still
be okay.
holding out hope that I'm holding out hope that the cast is going to do a good job. That's the cast and the writing is what I think might save this film
Yeah.
from being the worst film of this year.
The rating, I don't think any of it.
No, I mean, the writing is pretty damn bad.
The writing's
Like, so
terrible.
far. And,
Oh my goodness, the lines.
I can't remember who the writer is, but I looked at his, like, filmography and it's pretty damn bad. Like, I think he did one thing in Bridesmaids and that was it.
Oh.
He wrote one joke.
Probably.
It's probably
But-
the worst joke as well.
Yeah. But considering 2 of the cast members are from Bridesmaids, and that was quite a funny film.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's not the cast, that's not the issue.
Yeah.
So.
I think, people need to just stop hating on this film. I mean...
Unnecessarily.
There is necessary hate.
Yes.
You're allowed to hate this film if you do not like it, as long as you have your reasons.
And I hate
But I think people are actively going out their way to kind of say, like, oh, you know, if you don't like this film, then you're a sexist, you're racist. Or...
And then there are people saying, oh my god, women ruin everything. It's like, no, shut up.
People are jokingly saying that.
No,
but
some
yes,
people
there
are
are
honest.
Yes,
Some
there are
people are
people
honest.
being that, but I think it's partly refreshing, but it gets to my biggest issue, and let me break it down real quick. So, the main problem with this trailer, and the main reason why I think people are hating it, even if they don't like it, is because it is frustrating and confusing.
And lying.
And lying.
And not funny.
Because this film is actually... Alright, that's
That sounded like a 5-year-old.
That's true.
And not funny.
But literally at the beginning, they're trying to say like, oh, it's a sequel. But it's not. It's like 30 years ago, a group of friends saved the block, but this is a reboot.
Yes.
This is
It's a
where
reboot.
the issue comes.
Yes.
Now,
they're lying.
as soon as I saw 30 years, I went, oh, okay, sequel, okay. We can get a shit sequel.
Yeah.
It's going to be number 3, shit.
Yeah.
But then they start to remake and mirror the first film.
Yeah.
To
Like
the point
the
where...
librarian scene.
The librarian scene, I was like, that's very similar to the first scene with the slime, with the ghost. I was like, okay, let's hope that's an homage. And then later on, I see Slimer.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yes. Exactly.
okay, why? Okay. Maybe that's just them making the reference to the first film. Okay, everyone likes
And I heard
Slimer.
that
He was
the
in everything.
mansion as
He was
well.
with all the
Yeah.
crews and that. But then it gets to probably the worst part where we see, I completely forget her name, but she is the 4th Ghostbuster. She is the black lady, who I think is going to be great. I think she's going to be great.
She's good at Saturday Night Live, so...
I think she's going to be great in this
I
film.
think it's Tracy Morgan, that's her name.
Maybe.
I haven't seen her on... Like, I don't watch Saturday Night Live, so I don't know about her.
She's
I think
quite
she's pretty funny, and I want to apologize for the tapping. That is my dumbass brother banging on the wall. So if you hear that, blame him.
Just send the hate mail, don't worry.
And then it gets to the point where we see her character, and she is I think she works in the train station.
Yeah.
She's underground. She sees the ghosts under the train station, which is very similar to the second film,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
is it Winston? Winston. Winston's character. I'm forgetting the actual actor's name, but like he sees the ghost train, and I was like, bit similar to that.
Yeah.
And then she basically says, "Well, I know like New York, and I've seen these ghosts, and I can
Yeah.
join the crew." It was at that point I was like, "Fucking bullshit!
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Yeah.
You've just confirmed it's a remake."
Exactly.
Because in the first film, Winston he just joins.
Mm-hmm.
He was a black actor as well.
Yep.
She's a black actor as well. She was not with the original cast. She doesn't know too much about it. And I'm like, why would you do that?
It's just repeating the same thing.
Like, I know I said this before, but did you really... I think it's kind of confirmed it. Did they hire her because she's black?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
To be honest, that's...
For the sake of a remake?
That's probably like the 70% like main reason. Because the first one, black actor, now they have to make quotas of a white... Because they're trying to be PC.
I'm pretty sure...
you know what I mean?
But they don't.
You know, is the Kate McKinnon the like non-one from Bridesmaids, the one with the kind of shorter hair? I'm pretty sure they'll end up saying like she's a lesbian, as well for a quota.
Probably.
I hope not, but then again,
Probably
I haven't seen anyone who's Mexican or Asian, so...
They'll probably
Oh, that's because
somewhere in the
only
background.
white and black matter.
Yeah, exactly.
White, black, and gays matter.
Yeah.
No one else.
Yeah.
That's all the world.
Middle class white girls.
This trailer was
black girls.
extremely frustrating because they could have eased the pain by calling it the new Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
The thing is, what I'm thinking, maybe because they're so dumb, they didn't think it through. I think maybe the only reason they did 30 years later bit is because they're trying to reference and build up hype, maybe, and not really direct it to the story. But
here's-
way it looks,
It looks
it's
like
like
they're lying.
it's set in
But
your
here's
story.
where the plot
Adds
holes
value
come
to
in. So I think it's 4 of the original cast are making cameos in this film, not as those characters.
Yeah, as new characters.
So it's a reboot then.
Yeah.
So yeah, then it's
It's a reboot. It's not a sequel.
100% reboot. Yeah.
But if it's a sequel, then why is it mirroring the first film so much?
Yeah.
No, it's a reboot though.
Yeah,
So,
it's
not a reboot. I mean a remake.
Remake.
No, I don't think it's a reboot. I think it's just a remake.
I think it is a reboot.
Not the second one.
It's like the J.J. Abrams Star Trek. It's a reboot remake essentially.
Yeah. Oh, this is all confusing.
Which is more actionized.
By reboot, do you mean like?
As in they're starting the whole universe again.
Yeah, yes,
Oh,
that's
They're
what
starting
I mean,
up again because they want to do
Yes.
another one.
But they're
basically.
doing a remake because they're doing essentially the same thing that's already been done.
Yeah, reboot,
Yeah.
remake then, and so they got new characters. Okay. Yeah.
This trailer was incredibly annoying because it disappointed me more than anything else I'd seen prior to this film, and I had such faith in the director. I don't like the fact that he or Sony has lied.
Yeah. I had no.
Go back to the article where he says it's not a reboot; it's a sequel.
Also,
Wow.
I say the neon ghosts I really don't like
Do you know why you don't like
terrible.
them?
because they're garish
No, because they're basically the ghosts
and
from.
CG.
They're not CG.
They look it.
They're real actors.
Wow, that looks horribly done. Then some bad effects.
I would defend the film and say, oh, they ain't finished the CGI, but the film comes out in 3 months.
Yeah.
Which even then, why the fuck did they release the trailer so late?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, think about every other film, guys, that we're talking to the audience, that you're looking forward to. They almost all have trailers. We're going to talk about another film that had a trailer from last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'm starting to think that maybe
They knew it was shit, so they're thinking, "Oh God, we need to make something really
Well,
good."
maybe it's like
you know
the
what I mean?
Force Stick.
A
thing.
Phantom Force stick.
I don't think
Fantastic
Ghostbusters
Four.
is going to be as bad as that
Oh
film.
no, it
No.
probably won't be as bad, but it's still doing a similar thing where it releases trailers so late.
But
I
just think it was just trying to find something good to actually work off,
And
because they probably realised this movie's pretty shit.
yeah, I will say one thing. I already spotted the biggest piece of product placement being
that then?
in Times Square, a giant Sony logo.
Oh God.
So,
yes, I
yeah.
saw that.
Now, before we talk about that scene real quick, I just want to mention the main reason why you don't like the ghosts is because they are the ghosts from Disney's Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, they are. They actually are.
Yeah, they look exactly like that. No joke. Type in Disney's Haunted Mansion and look at the ghosts. They're
It's
all blue.
Hilariously awful.
They do it.
Yeah,
terrible.
that scene at Times Square, that is obviously the final
Yeah.
bit of the film.
Yes.
Now, obviously, that looks nothing like the final of the original film.
No.
Which I was like, okay, at least you did something different. But it looks... The only interesting thing was the fact that before that one ghost comes up to the screen, Times Square seems to travel through time. Which I was like,
Okay.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe time travel's involved. Which could either be good or bad. But that scene bothered me because it was just so much crap going on. Like, the original ending of that film came down to, like, what? The four of them and technically one person
Yeah.
who turned into a monster. Mm-hmm. And it clearly seems that they've gone... There must have been discussion at some point where they went, oh, okay, so we're doing the remake. How are we going to do Stay Puft Marshmallow Man? And to which most of them went, you know we can't do that. You know we can remake everything other than that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
too iconic. And they went, shit. So basically it's going to be, let's fight all these ghosts.
Or what if they end up bringing in the
God.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Woman?
I don't think they will... I had a discussion with someone and I don't think Stay Puft will be in this film.
No, you won't.
Because I think they are going to make... Because here's the thing. They should make the good joke of basically saying, yeah, I don't think Stay Puft is going to be in this because they would have outlawed him.
Yeah. It's true.
Like, what New York City would want an icon
but
like
it's a
that
reboot,
that destroy...
So that
Is
they
it?
can't do
Well,
that.
the events happened. The events of the first film happened, remember?
Then it's-
30 years ago, 4 guys
That was
saved the
trailer
world.
lying.
But I just think that was.
No.
I really just think that was really bad editing. They put
Yeah.
that just so it's for the audience.
Yeah, it's an audience fan
understand.
thing. Yeah,
Then it's like, what a waste of money.
exactly.
Why did you go and film those scenes then?
Exactly, it's stupid. I
Yeah.
literally think it was just poor editing
Yeah.
and direction.
It was
because
awful.
Poor marketing,
that's
honestly.
all they wanted to do. They just wanted to remind people that this came out 30 years ago and this is
Yeah.
a reboot.
Remember
Remake.
this? Remember this?
And
We
also-
want to be this.
And here's
Exactly.
here's another thing real quick. Ghostbusters came out in 1984.
Yeah.
Could this film be set in like 2014? Because they say 30 years ago, implying that it happened exactly 30
Maybe they
years ago.
rounded it down.
Because it's 32 years.
Yeah.
Since the first film came
that's
out.
True.
They rounded
That
it
is
down.
true.
That's just.
But
you know.
like that does no. But you wouldn't round it down. You'd put the actual date, wouldn't you? Though.
Yeah, but that would imply they have a brain.
I thought that was a nice little plot hole, because if they were going for some kind of weird anniversary thing, they failed.
Yeah.
Like, I know this, right, about... I'm not a director. Well, I am a director technically, because I make animations, but, like, I'm not a film director, but in my... in like, if I'm setting the scene, I would take into consideration how long it's going to take to make this and when it's going to be released.
Yeah.
So, let's say I start it this year. I'm not going to say... Not in the trailer when it's in 2017. Coming out in 2016. Like a donut. That's the stupidest thing ever.
Also, I'm getting some, like, I wonder if this is going to be worse than R.I.P.D. The Rest in Peace Department with Ryan Reynolds. Because if it's worse than that, I'm going to laugh my face off.
I don't think it will be. His trailer was upsetting.
Yeah.
Really upsetting for...
Yes.
I mean, and...
We didn't even discuss the jokes. Well, quote
What
marks.
jokes are there to discuss? I
marks
talked about the
jokes.
best jokes, so there's no point.
I said quote marks jokes.
We've
but-
already talked about this for like almost like 10 minutes now.
Yeah. I think we should move on.
We need to move on because I'm
this.
sick of this stupidness. You know, it's not ruining the franchise; it's just damaging its new one.
Yeah.
And that's the worst thing.
Don't consider it as a...
Ghostbusters is so good that they could release 7 bad films and Ghostbusters would still be a good franchise. So,
Is this the Ghostbusters 06 then?
Just wipe it from your mind. Just forget it ever happened.
I don't care.
Yeah,
Don't care. I don't care, and that's what a lot of people need to do. Ignore the film. Let it fail.
Yeah.
If you just want to see women in Ghostbusters, just read the comic.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
true.
plenty of them. There's about 7 of them.
Yeah.
Who would have made much more interesting characters if they'd made a new film about them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, jeez. What a shame. Right, let's move on to a slightly more bulkier and bigger story. I'm going to need some help with this one because I didn't get enough time to kind of read it all. So I'm kind of just going to... We're kind of, unfortunately, going to be reading off what was announced at this Nintendo Direct for the 3rd of March 2016. So, yeah, straight away, 2 weeks later, already back with another Direct from Nintendo, which is
Nintendo are getting up in the game.
pretty awesome. And I think this was a pretty good one. It was just kind of like a... Here's everything that's getting updated, everything that's coming out. This was very Star Fox eccentric.
A little bit.
I would say that was the main star.
Yeah, do you want me to start listing off the stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We can start with that. I think I probably already mentioned this, but we are going to put some kind of link regarding everything so you can go see it. We'll put the official Nintendo Direct page because we don't have all the details. There was a lot, guys. Even the tiniest things, there's a lot. But take it away, Ace.
So on the Nintendo Store, they put Pilot Wings, Super Mario World, and F-Zero up, and that's on there now. On March 24th, Super Mario Kart, Earthbound, and Donkey Kong Country are going up.
Ooh,
Yeah.
bloody hell.
And April 14th, Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, Super Metroid, and Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest are going up.
Nice. So got a nice bit of pimpage for older stuff, which is good to hear.
Yeah. They showed a bit more of Star Fox Zero. It's still... I mean, I'm still not there yet.
I'm still annoyed that it's essentially a remake, but I like the fact that they've actually done some stuff with the delay.
Yeah.
And they've actually like gone, oh well, they clearly acknowledged people really didn't like the fact that it was a remake, so we've just gone and added just way more, and they've added this weird concept where it's like time travel and different versions, and they brought back characters, and stuff like that. I think it will be a fun game. I think the best thing Nintendo you can do, release this at a discounted price. Release it at about £20 to $30, and I think you'll do fine. I mean, and it's also packaged with Star Fox Gauge,
which
I believe is like
Star Fox Guard. Sorry,
Gauge.
God. I was just about to talk about that.
Sorry, I just assumed it was Gauge just from memory. Go on.
Star Fox Guard. It's a tower defense game. You play as Slippy Toad and his dad Grippy Toad. As you basically build a little tower defense and use cameras to see where enemies are coming through, and basically stop them from getting past.
Fun little time waster.
A little mini game thing. It's like okay, nothing too special there for me.
Sure. I mean,
I do like. Was his dad in anything before, like Grippy Toad? Because if
he might have been in Assault.
Okay,
but I don't know.
I think that's just a great name, and his little moustache is quite fun.
I mean, for as little Star Fox games there are quite a few characters, and some of them are obscure somehow.
Yeah. I can't remember if what's the next one on the list or.
I don't actually have the exact list, but what are you trying to describe in the sense?
Because the next one that I saw that really intrigued me was called Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE.
Yes.
Oh boy, this game looks fun.
Do you know what this game is?
Yeah, it's a RPG, J-pop style.
I talked about this game back when we did our E3 special,
Really?
and all of you guys were like, "What the fuck is that? I don't care."
I can't remember that.
I did, and like I was just talking for like 5 minutes because you guys were like, "Okay, Raccoon's talking about some weeaboo stuff." Basically, this game is it's Fire Emblem Cross Persona.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about it now.
It is basically that, but it's got this weird name. The FE stands for Fire Emblem, by the way. So it essentially is taking a note out of all the fantastic music from Persona, and it's kind of incorporated the Fire Emblem world and characters. Like some of the villains and some of the characters are a bit messed up in some kind of sense within this world. Like I won't spoil it, but one of the major villains in Fire Emblem Awakening is one of the bosses in there, which you can kind of see. But he's so messed up that you wouldn't really know if you've never seen that character. This game looks great. It's looking really colourful, looking really fun.
Because I saw Crom in the trailer as well, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it should be good. I mean, it's weird. Yeah, it's weird, but I think it could work.
The next thing shown was called Lost Reavers, which was basically a four people multiplayer game. It was basically going into a dungeon, getting loot essentially, and it really looked very bare bones to me.
I haven't actually seen this.
It looks very nothing. Like I can't even describe it much more because that's the whole detail of it. It looks like they got the Dragon Age Inquisition multiplayer and just made a game of that and added guns.
Oh, but that sounds horrible.
Yeah, because at least Inquisition had a story.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
So yeah, that one just looks really nothing.
Ugh.
So
Yucky.
yeah, I mean, it was going to be a new IP, but I don't see anything special about it.
Yeah, let's talk about the last kind of like final few like announcements, confirmed for new games and stuff. So so I believe we have Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. So if you played one of those or seen one of those games, you've seen it before. We had an update for Splatoon, just kind of some more like free DLC weapons, that kind of stuff. We don't really talk about that because it's very bare bones. Same with Mario Kart, that's getting an update. New game, Mini Mario and Friends Amiibo Challenge, which is basically a game based on your amiibos from what I can tell, and it's basically more secrets, more unlockables to do with the amiibos you have if you open them in the box. We got more amiibo cards, more of the Animal Crossing ones. What else? Pokken Tournament.
Yeah.
I'm so tempted to say like Pokken.
Yeah.
It's like
weird,
Tekken,
isn't it?
but that got like a bit of an update, more love because that film's coming out. Game's coming out pretty soon.
There was something about Pokken Tournament that kind of got me. I was like, that's weird. If you buy the game, I think like within the first month or something, you get first edition. You got this special Shadow Mewtwo promotional card, and which you can put in your game. But at the end of the thing, it had an asterisk, and it said Shadow Mewtwo is effective until you quit the game.
What does that mean?
Yeah, and I was very confused by that.
Effective until you quit the game. It must be a one-time use thing then.
Yeah.
Or a one-match use thing only then.
Yeah, which it was like, I think, an actual playable character because it said also asterisk, not usable as a support character. So I was very confused about that and like very weirded. So maybe it's a special unlock, but you can also unlock it later in the game.
Maybe. That's strange. We got Azure Strike Gunvolt 2, which is a game for the 3DS which I highly recommend playing. It was basically made by... Basically, it's the real sequel to Mega Man X, basically. Definitely check this game out, the first one and the second one. It has some very interesting ideas, and it looks fantastic.
They're also putting the first one at a discounted price. So, I think £9.99, so...
Decent.
Right, get it.
What else do we have? We have Disney Art Academy. You can probably guess what that's about.
Yeah,
drawing and painting characters. No more than like Paint Me Pikachu. Or was
Pokemon Art Academy.
Yeah,
that one's hilarious though. I laughed for 10 minutes and my friend was like, "What the hell are you laughing at?" Trust me. If
are you
play,
high?
No, trust me. Play the first 10 minutes. That's the best moment ever.
Dragon Quest, I believe it's 7?
8.
Is it? Okay.
I think. No, it is 7, sorry. It is 7.
I think it is 7, yeah. Fragments of the Forgotten Past, that's being released. I think that is an exclusive for the time being, I think, maybe.
It's an exclusive re-release or remastering.
Someone has an exclusive Dragon's Quest game, and I'm not sure if it's Nintendo or PS4.
It's a Nintendo. This is a remastering.
We'll see. We have Monster Hunter Generations being released on the 3DS, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I think the two last ones being Kirby Planet Robot.
Robobot.
I was about to say reboot.
Oh, it's a Planet Robobot. So it's very weird.
I'm tempted to say.
Yeah.
I was tempted to say reboot, but that should be interesting. And one game.
With Kirby Planet Robobot, you can put your amiibos on, and it will give you Kirby an extra power. They also releasing a new Kirby amiibo, which will give him his moves from Smash.
Nice.
Yes.
Cool.
Some good stuff.
Also, he's going to get a weird mech, which has a lot of cool powers, which I thought could have had its own game or IP.
Kirby's strong enough as it is.
Yeah. So, like, it could have had its own game called Planet Robobot, where you're in a mech.
Well, no.
But, yeah.
And I think kind of our final game is I completely forget its name. You might have it down, but it's the next Paper Mario game.
Oh, Paper. I didn't get the name down. It was a Paper Mario Color something.
Color something.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people like this game. This game was getting some nice hate.
Yeah.
Which I was surprised about. I mean, maybe because it looks too much like Sticker Saga.
Because
people didn't like that game.
I've unfortunately never played a Paper Mario game. I
Right.
need to.
Oh,
No,
it's worth playing the one in the GameCube, the
Yeah.
1,000-year-old door.
Exactly.
But,
And the one on Wii. That was really, really good.
That one was okay.
I've never played none, so I have no opinion.
Oh, maybe we'll play it on the channel.
Yeah, sure.
And the final thing, I think I have to say, this is Fire Emblem Fates.
Oh yeah.
Finally has a European launch of May 20th. Just thank goodness they have a special edition. The game is coming out so soon. Just good.
Yeah.
Raccoon can sleep now.
Yes, finally.
They did also show off some Bravely Second stuff, like End Layer.
Mhm.
2 new classes being Catmancer, which I thought was great. You basically give cats treats to attack enemies, which sounded hilarious.
Oh, I thought it was literally like some kind of necromancer kind of thing.
No, basically you're just giving cats treats and they're attacking for you. It's in the demo, which is cool, so you get to try it out. And a wizard, basically you kind of make your own spells, which is pretty damn cool. So you
Fair
mix
enough.
and match a hammer and ice attack.
Okay,
And if you play the demo, you can unlock stuff and add that to your actual full game.
cool. That's fine. Right, so let's move on to our second trailer, which was... We don't usually do this. We don't usually like to come back to franchises that have another trailer, but I think this one was definitely worth talking about. And that is Captain America Civil War Trailer 2, which I think released a couple days from the date this podcast went up. And it got a lot of hype for one character alone, and we'll let people go watch the trailer real quick, so we'll pause and we'll talk about the...
So how
Trailer
badass
2.
was Ant-Man?
Ant-Man
Jeez, that was cool.
awesome.
I
It was
know.
pretty good.
The
I like
best,
that scene.
That's an actual reference to the comics.
Yeah.
You see the Ant-Man on Hawkeye's arrow.
Yeah.
It's a reference to Avengers number 223.
Oh, nice.
It's a brilliant piece of front cover. I think it's great.
Oh yeah, even in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 they did that as well, which was great.
I'm only looking forward to 2 characters in this,
Go on.
which the obvious ones, Ant-Man and Spider-Man.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah, I forgot Spider-Man was there.
Spatman.
I forgot Spatman.
I love
Spatman.
love that Spatman.
Yeah, so they showed off Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man, or the Marvel Spider-Man, or the Avengers Spider-Man,
MCU Spider-Man.
Or the Amazing Spider-Man, or the
Oh
regular
no, it's
Spider-Man.
Spectacular Spider-Man.
Oh yes, the spectacular one now.
Yeah.
which I'm sure some stupid fucking nerd is going to correct me, but
No, I feel too high.
It's from Marvel TSO0900 universe. Come on.
and if you put that in the comments and consider yourself blocked, but they showed his costume off, which I was very surprised about because I thought they would save that for the film, but I guess they
same,
pushed out. Just for the sake of hype, or maybe because they were like, "Hey, DC, I see Batman v Superman's coming out.
Yeah.
The thing
Let's
is,
take some of that popularity, shall we?"
Yeah.
the thing is, it's Hollywood, so they're gonna obviously spoil
Yeah.
it.
Hollywood spoils everything.
I hate how
Well,
they revealed
journalists,
the trailer.
Yeah.
I didn't like the idea of that. It would be better.
I mean, it's a great scene, but I would
Yeah.
much
Yes.
rather have had that in the film.
Same. Although, he says like, "Hey everyone," in a very timid,
Hey,
mild
everyone.
voice. I can't imagine that's actually part of that scene.
No.
I think it's like in a different part of the film, and they just put it there, for the fans.
Probably a dub.
Yeah. I like the costume. Some people have been like bitching about it. I think it's
the
fine.
Costume's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good.
And the whole eye like dilating thing, I thought that was quite cool.
I was confused about
Yeah.
that. I was like, is that like lenses or is that like symbiotic or whatever?
I think it's lenses.
Was there like some kind of Rorschach thing going on
Yeah.
there? My problem was it looked too animated. It didn't look like a lens.
I think it's going to explain it. It will probably explain it.
Because it looks too fluid. I
Yeah.
understand they are lenses
Yeah.
because I've had a look at the picture real close. But the way it moves, it's way too fluid.
Yeah.
And I had an argument with someone where they were like, "Oh, well, it's Tony Stark giving him technology," and I was like, "Yeah, Tony's technology doesn't move that fluid nor that fast."
I've got an idea. Considering Civil War, one of the main things that happened to Peter Parker was the chameleon goes after him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking chameleon might have something. And if he's got the kind of face changing masks and stuff.
I don't know. I mean,
And he usually ends up having stories related to S.H.I.E.L.D. So I'm thinking either he's somewhere in this film hidden or he's going to be in a Spider-Man
chameleon.
film. Yeah.
Oh, this film's got more than enough people in it.
Exactly.
No, I'm not saying he should be, but I'm saying it's a possibility.
It was bad enough seeing me in the background.
Oh, yeah, I saw.
Remember that scene when Crossbones punches
Yeah.
like Captain America?
Yeah.
If you look to the left, you can see me.
Yeah, I saw you. You were just kind of sitting there like, what's going on here?
I was like, "Oh damn, is that Crossbones?"
Yeah. I will like something I remember during a previous podcast when you were talking about Crossbones, you had the wrong guy. You were talking about the like pirate guy early in Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
That guy was the Leaper, not Crossbones. Crossbones was the assault guy later on in the film. Just clarifying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no worries, I wouldn't know
Yeah.
because I haven't seen those.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Yeah, I think there was a lot of. I think other than Spider-Man being in this trailer, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. This trailer was fairly tame and very boring.
What about Ant-Man?
Yeah.
That was the only
Ant-Man
best scene.
Yeah.
Not the Spider-Man scene. That was the best scene.
Ant-Man.
You kind of saw like Scarlet Witch dominating Vision a little bit, which
Which I was like, "Ha, you're
Yeah.
funny."
yeah.
Good joke. Yeah.
But
Can't wait to see that on the bloopers.
I've got a kind of guess at something that might happen. I think Ant-Man's going to turn giant.
Oh, if he did, that would be
Yeah.
so cool.
I hope he does.
Yeah.
So,
But I think hasn't the director already said that that's going to be a he's not going to do that.
I think
It's going to
No.
be gigantic.
Oh,
Man?
Giant Man.
Giant Man.
Giant Man, that's his
I
actual
think they've
idea.
said that they're going to be separating the characters.
Well, that's the thing, there are like 4 Giant Mans in the comics.
But I think they specifically said that Ant-Man's not going to turn big. They're going to have a giant man turn big, which is disappointing.
I'm going to say something, and I have reason to believe this is going to happen. And I'm not saying why.
Inside scoop.
I'm not saying about sources or anything, but I'm 90% sure he's turning big in this film. 90% sure.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. So,
call up TMZ.
but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to happen, and I've still got a theory that Spider-Man's going to have at least 2 costumes minimum.
What's going to be the second one?
Yeah.
The Iron Spider costume.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I don't know. I do hope that Spider-Man does turn big, but I have a feeling. I have a feeling they won't do it because they would much rather shoehorn in another character.
That's the thing.
Trust me, I've got big reason to believe it's going to happen.
Ooh.
I've got very big reason. Big reason, Giant Man.
That's what I was thinking. Oh, I just
The rest
said
of the
that.
trailer was just kind of just meh. Like nothing was really too many.
It didn't do anything else.
It's like
It's just all the
everyone
other scenes.
fights in
Yeah.
this trailer, and it's
Well,
like
I did like the bit of them actually going through, all the destruction superheroes cause. Like, oh yeah, we messed up like New York, Washington, I can't remember the fictional place they made up. Sokovia or something. That's probably a real place and I feel bad.
It most likely is
Yeah.
somewhere in Eastern Europe.
Yeah, but they were talking about those bits being messed up and I was like, yeah, that's a genuine thing.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, it hasn't made me want to go see the film. Not even Spider-Man's made me want to go see this film because it's just like
Ant-Man.
I wanted to see the film since the end of the Ant-Man film.
Ant-Man has always been
Yeah.
the main reason. I'm in love with Ant-Man, I think.
I have a shrine to him.
I think
I have a small shrine and a big shrine.
I think there's something about Ant-Man that I love.
No, he's cool.
He's not He's just not an idiot.
Yeah.
Like the others.
Or like Captain America.
Captain America. Oh, he's a waste man.
But and to all the people saying where's Hulk and where's Thor, they're in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, are you dumb?
It's like
You dumb. Like, exactly.
And they weren't in the like Civil War comic either. There was a Thor clone.
Yeah, you
and
can't
Hulk
call
was
yourself any kind of fan if you don't do the research.
Yeah.
I don't care if you just found out today. Stop calling yourself a
Yeah.
fan if you don't acknowledge anything or just can't just assume anything. I hate these kinds of people who's like, oh, why is he not in the trailer? It's like, do you want to see the film or what?
Oh, and, I know there's this great parody thing going on. It's like people saying, "Oh, I'm loving Batman in this trailer," like instead of Black Panther, and some people are taking it too seriously.
I'm pretty sure some people are mistaking him for that, but
Yeah.
Oh,
I already know Black Panther is going to like hopefully kill Captain America in this film or the next film or whenever.
Needs to.
Captain America needs to die because I'm sick of seeing his
He's
face.
so annoying,
Yeah, but
isn't it? There's
he's
something
had a
about
good
him.
film. Thor hasn't.
It doesn't matter. Like Thor won't die obviously, but like Captain America needs to die because it's like, come on now, guys, do something different,
You've been
do something
stretching it a bit
fresh.
too much now.
If they kill Captain America in this film,
Oh,
then
they
they're
won't.
basically doing the same thing as the Civil War comic. Or they can say he got shot and stuck in time. You know,
Let's not do that.
the comic.
Can we just kill him and he just be dead forever and then we can have
Yeah.
some fresh ideas?
Exactly.
Can we do that and then every other Marvel film be interesting because someone might die in it that's not the villain?
Well, someone did die in Age of Ultron.
But no one cared about him.
I did. He was he wasn't as cool as the other Quicksilver, you know.
Exactly. No
He was
one
still cool.
No one cares.
I'm guessing Hawkeye's gonna die.
Oh, that would be amazing. If no, Scarlett Johansson's character,
Yeah.
Black Widow.
No, if she dies,
And-
then it's anti-feminist.
Oh, that's
It's anti-woman.
I really hope
Anti-woman.
them two die because they are. Yeah, sure, they're like top agents, but like, what's just humans.
Yeah,
Like,
she's
crap.
nothing special.
We
No.
don't need you anymore. It's okay.
No.
Oh, did you? Okay, let the others handle it.
Now
We have enough.
that the Vision's here, who's like the most powerful guy there,
He's overpowered.
and then Scarlet Witch, who
she
I'm
alters
contemplating her powers being explained in this film because it's
Well,
like she can do anything.
reality. She gets her powers from the Mind Gem, and so does Vision. So it makes sense why they're messing each other up.
They're probably going to change that though, like they did with Deadpool. They're going to change.
Oh no,
a few of their
no,
abilities.
they explained that in Age of Ultron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Never seen Age of Ultron. I'm not into that.
Why
Yeah,
is she just still wearing normal clothes? Is
Feminism.
she being a rebel or something, or just being annoying?
I think it's just her being a kid.
Annoying.
Because it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's the thing. I think at the end of Age of Ultron, she was kind of wearing a costume, like a semi-street level costume. But yeah, I don't know. Not sure what's
I
happening
don't
there.
like Scarlet Witch. I just need to do something with that character instead of her being like the trump card.
Yeah.
Oh, we have Scarlet Witch. She can do anything, and it's like, yeah. What's her power? Like, can you be a bit more clear
Yeah,
about that? Because
'cause
she
in-
can do everything now, apparently.
In the comic, her like powers is basically metronome from Pokemon, where anything can happen. So it's usually just for use for plot reasons.
Can Doctor Strange come and kill her and just like, wait, can we get this faker out of here?
Or can he be like, hey, I'll train you?
Because we can't say who her father is for obvious reasons, but it's like, ugh.
He's a terrorist that controls metal. That's
Yeah.
what they should say that at least.
He works at the airport, scanning
why they're
for
fighting
metal.
there. That's why they're fighting there.
That's what they find at the airport. And can we talk about that dumb scene where
Oh,
they just
yeah.
run together? Oh my
So,
god.
I'm looking forward to this film, but them running at each other in an airport looked hilariously stupid. It was just dumb.
It was so bad. Like, I almost turned off the trailer when I saw that, but it wasn't until it wasn't because I saw the thumbnail. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Spiderman's still in it. But
It-
like, that was so bad.
It just reminds you of the Age of Ultron like opening, where they all jump sideways.
But here's also the thing as well. No matter what context that is in the film, the trailer has already said that Winter Soldier's gonna fight Tony. Tony's gonna fight Captain America. Scarlet Witch is gonna fight Scarlet Witch is gonna fight Thingy.
Vision,
So it's
yeah.
like, what's the point in this final fight? As soon as everyone's beating the shit out of everyone already, it's like, oh, so you're going to have another fight? Oh, but this time it's at the same time.
I mean, it's possible there's like, considering Civil War, like, there's a like super prison or something to put people in. That's where the final fight's going to be.
Wasn't there like 10 times more people fighting in Civil War?
There was, and it got very confusing.
Maybe not
Like,
10 times, but like at least a
There
lot
was-
more.
There was.
Tons.
Well, you have to remember a lot of the X-Men were in there as well. Daredevil was in there, Jessica Jones was in there, Luke Cage was in there, Iron Fist. Almost every superhero was in there. Besides people like Thor and Hulk, because Thor was on Asgard, Hulk was on Planet Hulk. Yeah.
Just looking down at these stupid people like, really, guys?
Well, he was more like, as soon as I get home, I'm killing everyone.
Fair enough.
Literally, because they sent him up there.
Oh yeah, Tony was being a dick.
Yeah. Tony was the villain in Civil War. I don't care how neutral they tried to make it, he was the villain.
Yeah, it was.
Wolverine was the only person to actually do something. He was like, you know what, I'm going to find the person who caused the problem and kill him.
Yeah.
And he did it. Because that's the first time Wolverine does something good.
Oh. What about the Wolverine? That was good.
There's pure silence for a reason. It was okay.
Alright. Let's move on to our next story. I'm going to let you guys take this because I don't care enough to really want to talk about it.
You know, I'll just sum this up quickly.
Go ahead.
Kid asks Luke Skywalker, "Oh, I'm coming out, but I'm afraid." Luke Skywalker said he's just trying to reassure him that Luke might be either straight or gay. But we don't really care, so on to the next story.
Anything you want to say
really
Ace,
it.
before we actually move on?
Just because someone says something doesn't mean it's true in the fictional universe.
It's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know what Mark Hamill is doing, but I don't think anyone told him that once you say something is ambiguous, it's no longer ambiguous. You basically confirmed what you were suggesting.
Yeah.
So for all intents and purposes, Luke is now gay.
Yep.
Thanks to you making that comment. So congratulations, you've now pissed off a bunch of your fans, you've now confused audiences, and you've now become possibly public enemy number one. Right, moving on to the next story. Ducktales is returning after about a 20 or so year hiatus. This was confirmed, I believe, last year that the series was actually coming back. But now we actually have images, or I should say probably one image, which I guess maybe you could say it's a little bit pathetic that we're talking about one image, but I think giving the gravitar that is DuckTales, I think it's worth talking about. Now, this image finally released, and it was pretty interesting to see that, in case you haven't watched DuckTales, I'm sorry you're 9 years old, but
it's my 10th birthday tomorrow.
It essentially follows Scrooge McDuck, who is, I believe, I think it's Donald Duck's like brother or cousin or some shit like that, who's looking after Donald's nephews, being Huey, Dewey, and Louie, as well as their cousin as well, Debbie. And it basically follows the adventures very much in the same vein as Indiana Jones, kind of adventure kind of stuff. And it was it was during the Disney Afternoon block, which was a fantastic and magical time during the 90s when we had great shows like DuckTales, Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck,
the best.
Gargoyles later on.
Gargoyles.
Some of the more classic cartoons. Now, this is the first to get a remake, and the image that we've seen so far looks pretty promising from the standpoint of character design, illustration, and just general art and shading. I'm not going to be like, oh my god, look, it's Webby. No.
This implies this is going to happen, guys.
It implies that sticks will be thrown at cars.
Dun, dun, dun.
Which is what is happening in the image, which we will link it in the download, which you can find in the description. But I know you guys aren't into animation as much as me, but like any comments on it at all, if you want to make any, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, the screenshot looks nice.
Yeah, it does look nice. I mean, I think it's just a concept image.
Yeah.
And I believe they are taking a page out of the Mickey Mouse cartoon, which is currently airing on Disney XD, which has a really old school-esque look to it, which is nice. The more interesting things about this picture is the fact that Donald is wearing a black outfit.
Yeah, I wondered that. I was like, is that Donald then? Or...
It is Donald.
Okay.
It is Donald because he has a sailor hat.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And you can kind of... There is a slight difference between Donald and Scrooge, but if you can't see it, then I'm not going to tell you. But yeah, it's definitely him, and I think it's interesting. It looks like the characters have gotten older, which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Webby seem like they're slightly older because I don't remember Webby's hair looking like that in the original series. Webby's the girl in the purple. In case you're wondering, Huey, Dewey, and Louie are the ducks in the blue, green, and red. And Scrooge looking extremely malicious, like he just got paid. Well, he's always getting paid, but looking like he is about to maybe ram someone over, is the main character to some extent. Really looking forward to this now, actually. It's the second story we're covering based on cartoons getting animated series, and I can't wait. Hopefully, because it is confirmed to be in 2D, but hopefully this is a good show. Don't touch the opening. Don't get no stupid dumbass top 40 star to sing it, because don't do it. Not even Adele. I don't want Adele. I don't want to see Ducktales and Adele doing the crossover.
Oh no, it'll be Pharrell Williams.
No.
Or who's that guy with the really dumb looking hair?
Sam.
There's a lot of people with really dumb looking hair in the music
He
industry.
did the terrible music
Or
for
Spectre.
and Fast and the Furious.
Oh yeah.
Sam
yeah.
Smith. That's the one, isn't it?
Who's the other guy? Is he the XX or is that a group? I don't know.
XXVX. You mean?
No, like it's one singular guy and he's got like really dull looking hair and his songs are awful.
The Weeknd?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's bad when you can say dull looking and bad hair, and I go Weeknd.
Yeah, they'll probably get it.
1 second thought, like, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a shame because The Weeknd has some good songs.
That's the thing. He had really good songs.
He had some good albums, but it was like, oh no, you had to release that new album, and it was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, God, you're really doing that?
Trust me.
Just don't get someone like that.
This year he won't be feeling his face. Yeah, just don't even do no. I don't want to see no dubstep on this shit. Like, just if anything, just don't
just
have
do
an
a
opening.
remastering of the classic, and that's it.
Just get actual vocal singers. Get like the African orchestra. Get someone who can actually sing.
Yeah.
Don't go for Megan Trainor's gonna be singing. No.
Oh no, that'd be awful.
Oh, Taylor Swift. No.
Ugh.
No, I said talent. Okay, I said talent, not popularity.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to this series. I can't wait. Hopefully you guys can't wait. And in 2017, if I'm still alive, I might do a review on it.
Okay.
So that's confirming something at least.
Confirming that someone's out for your head.
Maybe.
Dark undertone there.
Well,
exactly. I was kind of like, what's going on?
Well, I don't know. Depending on what happens with the presidential elections and talking about the fact that freedom of speech is slowly disappearing and the fact that people seem to get triggered way too far. I mean,
dude, that word triggered me.
Speaking your mind is going to become quite a taboo fucking thing to do.
That's true.
You said something I don't like. Kill him.
Oh my God! I actually got scared.
Yeah, I saw him jump. There was startled there.
Whoa.
All right, Ace, do you want to take the next story regarding Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Now, I was a bit worried about the story because I know you're currently watching it, but you okay to cover it in that sense?
You got this though.
What?
You got this, man.
I got this, man.
Right,
so, if you've been watching the recent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles computer-generated show, it's amazing. They're going to be doing a crossover with the 80s cartoon show.
Yes.
Ooh.
And they're getting the original voice actors to reprise their roles. Did it say what season or what episode it's going to be on?
It's a season that I think is airing in May, if I can remember,
okay.
very soon. But I was... There's going to be a tiny bit of a spoiler. I was not surprised by this because they've already done this in the series. They've already done this. They didn't meet, but you see them.
Okay.
But for anyone wondering, like, what's up with the animation? They did it with Flash. That's how they tried to emulate the, I wouldn't say crappy looking animation, but animation of the time. Limited animation of the time. Really happy they got the original voice cast back. Yes. They all sound on point because I believe I forget one of the voice actors. He's doing Donatello in this new one, but
is it Raph from the original? Like he did Raph in the original, was it?
Yeah, he did Raphael in the original one, but he's doing Donatello in the newest one. I think it's Rob Paulson.
I can't remember the name, unfortunately.
He's the same voice actor, basically, and he does a great job of this. Basically, you would know him as Pinky from Pinky and the Brain, Wacko from Animaniacs, and other various stuff. He's a great voice actor, but it's just nice to see this. It makes sense. I don't know how far are you actually into the series, Ace?
I finished season 1 and I'm going to be starting season 2 soon.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I know I've got a while. Yeah, I've been very limited at the moment with time.
It's a good thing I didn't spoil anything else.
Goodness.
A ton has happened. In that series.
I've got a lot to go through.
Yeah, you do. But you'll enjoy it. There's when you get to season 3 and it just decides to go.
Yeah.
You know, you'll be like,
I've
what?
heard. I haven't heard any spoilers, but I've heard season 3 just goes.
Season
crazy.
3 becomes so much more original.
Okay.
It decides to be like, right, we did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, now we are 100% going to do what we want to do with
Okay.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Not that the first 2 seasons were being unoriginal.
Yeah.
They made nice references to things and that, but it was like they are like, we are doing what we want to do with this. And trust me, in season, I think it's 2, there's going to be a point where you can be like, oh damn, I didn't see that character doing that.
Nice. Okay.
Which is great. But Ferret, do you want to take or kind of cover the next story, talking about somewhat unfortunate news that's happened regarding 2 studios under Microsoft's wing?
Well, Microsoft ceases development on Project Fable Legends. Oh, I got mixed up there. Project Knoxville and Fable Legends.
Yeah.
Which, when I first saw that, I was like, oh, bloody hell.
Yeah.
They've closed.
You're a fan of Fables, if I remember
Yes,
correctly. Yes.
I've
I'm a
played
fan.
every main Fable
Oh, both
game.
of you guys. Okay.
Yeah. Fable 1, 2, and 3 I played.
Yes, and I've enjoyed them thoroughly. So to see this very good studio closed down and stuff, it's
And
it's distressing news.
Yeah, it's a major shame considering. I mean, whilst we can all say Peter Molyneux over-exaggerated everything about the Fable games, the people at Lionhead actually did good work. They
Yes.
made very fun, charming
Yeah.
games.
I think collectively, if you were to take everything that was good about all 3 Fable games, maybe not 3,
Yeah, Freeze.
if you were to
No.
take everything that was good about 1 and 2,
Yeah.
you have a really good game.
Oh, hell
I mean,
yeah,
Fable
yeah.
1, from what I can tell, most people love that game. I think it's a bit of a Marmite game. Some people hate it, some people love
It's
it.
better with the lost chapters
Thing is-
because you can continue playing.
The thing is, it was innovative for it. It's like
Yeah.
it really did set a new bar for RPG games. It actually gave you
Especially Western ones.
options and stuff like that. It,
Yeah.
Like it really did revolutionise the
Plus,
Western RPG
Progression
market.
of time
Exactly.
and what was it? The very
Options.
charming Cockney accents and
the
the
Cockney.
silly accents.
They were
I loved
beautiful.
those. It made them
It
fun.
had a big influence on, I think,
I love the
gaming as
character
well.
art as well.
Oh,
the,
yeah, yeah.
the stage, everything.
And Jack of Blades is always badass.
I know it's bloody hell. And just start implement I can't say that word.
Implements.
Implement.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that word. Implementing that new the system of good and bad.
Oh yeah.
It's calm, all of that stuff. I thought
Because morality in games wasn't there. It wasn't in a lot of games around that time.
No.
no, it wasn't. It wasn't done so well as all.
No.
Yeah.
For example, yeah.
Because it actually modified your
Exactly.
character.
And it adjusted it adjusted your gameplay.
And how
It's-
characters perceived you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was very, very shocking at the
Did
time.
any of you know anything about Project Knoxville?
No.
To be fair, I'm going to say this. I didn't know about Fable Legends at all, and I didn't know about Knoxville as well. I really didn't know they were making any other games. I didn't know they were making any games at the moment. So that's one thing that I have to admit.
Okay, no, I'm not trying to shame you guys enough.
No,
I know.
It's
Fable
just-
Legends I knew about. It was multiplayer, like 1v4.
Don't get me hyped for this.
Oh, no,
It's
no,
already
it-
been cancelled.
It looked really bad. There was no story, no nothing.
Oh
It was
my-
just multiplayer.
Really?
It was essentially like the Evolve kind of gameplay.
Oh,
So it's like you got one bad guy, stopping
Ugh.
the players.
bloody hell.
So
Why do I
like
close
summoning
it?
enemies and stuff. Yeah.
Jeez.
It didn't look anything special considering its IP.
Yeah.
I mean, it is unfortunate that people, unfortunately, going to lose their jobs, because I know there was a slightly mysterious statement that Microsoft released saying that they were going to be, I guess, kind of like reordering or refreshing their alignment of the things gamers want to see.
Yes.
And it was kind of like, and then you look at how their website changed, and it was very weird because it's something that not a lot of people covered in the main story. And if you look at it originally, and I'll kind of read it out real quick, you kind of have Halo Studio being 343. You have Gear Studio. You have Microsoft Studio. I think Forza, Big Park, I believe that is. Function. Good Science. ID at Xbox. Lift. Lionhead. LXP, Microsoft Casual Games. Yeah, that's the fucking game everyone wants to hear. Microsoft Studio Global Publishers, which, funny enough, has a thumbnail of Quantum Break, which is like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that one didn't get removed.
Yeah.
Press Play and Project Spark, everyone's favorite. Rare, SOTA, and Xbox Fitness. Now, after this news broke that Lionhead and the other studio were going to be going, their layout now looks like this, basically being 343 Halo. By games. So we got Halo Studio, you got Gears Studio, you got Microsoft Studio, you got Forza Studio, ID at Xbox, Lift, Microsoft Casual Games, Microsoft Studio Global Publishing, Rare, and Xbox Fitness.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's a big cut.
Yeah.
It wasn't just those two guys; they cut a few other things.
This is like 5 to 7 studios, wasn't it? That they got. Yeah.
Project Spark is also not listed.
Yeah. They completely got rid of that.
Spark's gone. Press Play's gone. LXP's gone. Second Science is gone. Function, Big Park is gone. Like,
yeah, they very much downsizing everything there.
and now, just to kind of, I mean, I like to throw shade on Microsoft, but I also like to throw shade on Sony when I get the chance. Okay, just looking at this, what the fuck are you left with? You're left with Halo, Gears, Minecraft, Forza, Quantum Break, everyone's favorite. Come on, get hype.
Yeah.
And Rare.
And Casual Games.
Oh, can't forget Casual Games.
I'm pretty sure that's, if it's not already established, it's their mobile game thing. That's what I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really hard to get hyped for Microsoft. I mean,
They've got one good developer.
who's that?
Right. Well, developers.
Well, you do realize most of the original guys left, right?
Oh.
You do know they're
Okay.
working on like ukulele, right?
Oh yeah. they got rid of everything basically.
Yeah.
They made their own studio.
And considering what you're saying, it's like you like to throw shade on Sony. Sony are actually doing something good.
Oh yeah.
They're helping recruit members of Lionshead Studios and and helping them get work. So Sony are actually doing something good here.
Yeah, I'd much rather. I really like this. If this is true, I hope it is true. Because I mean, don't let talent go to waste.
No.
Come on,
Exactly.
they're all. Whether or not you like the game, whether it's gonna be good or not, people need jobs, especially in an industry like this. You know, just help them find the content. Now, we're not gonna throw shade on Xbox and be like, how dare Microsoft not even try and do the same thing? You know, because I'm pretty sure if Sony wasn't trying to be the good guys here, they probably wouldn't have done the same. If it meant not having a go at Microsoft, they wouldn't have done this.
Or it's that they realise they need some games, so they need good developers.
Yeah, good developers are hard to come by.
Exactly. So Sony are snatching them while they can.
Gotta snatch them up. But yeah, bit of sad news, kind of with some more positive news, but we kind of hope that everyone who unfortunately may lose their job or is losing their job hopefully finds work as soon as possible, especially in this industry. So there's that. Right, so final few stories. It's kind of some fun ones. So we got the 3D NES emulator, which is a really weird and kind of cool emulator, which basically makes emulated 8-bit Nintendo and NES, SNES games and portrays them in 3D with like a complete 3D, almost rotational kind of scale platform. I'm trying to think of the word. Like,
I know what you're trying to
Level?
say. I can't get my brain working.
We'll link it in the description, but basically, it's really interesting how, like, I believe this one developer has pretty much made this, emulator which adds this really odd distortion and kind of, it's rather pointless, but it's a nice project rather than that. But we'll link it in the description along with like a video so you can actually see how it looks. I mean, it works with like I believe Chrome and Firefox browser, so it should be interesting, even if it's just for a laugh. Hopefully it doesn't make anyone sick. I hope not. I have a feeling it might make me sick.
Yeah, if it's anything like Nintendo 3DS is 3D, then it will make me feel sick.
Yeah, 3D makes me sick. I mean, have you seen all the films they released in 3D?
Oh, Avatar made me sick without it being 3D.
I took them off halfway through the film.
I'm
I
happy
didn't
they're
watch
like
it
calming
3D.
down.
Oh no, I watched it in 3D and I watched it with the glasses because I had more comfort.
I watched it in 2D and I was sick.
Probably look nicer.
Yeah, it looked nice and distorted and not being able to make things out. Yeah, it did. But yeah, we thought we'd mention that since it's kind of something cool. Next story is another quick, interesting one, and that is Amazon Japan is now going to be shipping games and game systems worldwide.
No, I don't have to wait. Just buy them straight there.
Yeah, this is a really awesome thing to do. Which is good. I mean, I'm happy to hear this. I mean, makes sense. So many people are always hounding game developers. You know, why didn't you release the game in our country and all that? And, you know, I mean, do be wary. Although the, I believe the PS4 is region free, some games may not be.
Okay.
Some games may be locked. I believe this is going to just be for games in general. So do your research, especially with games like the PS2 and stuff like that. 3DS, most of Nintendo's newer stuff is region locked. So you would need another system to get that system.
Or if you can, hack it, you know, jailbreak it.
Oh, yeah. I honestly wouldn't endorse that, but if you must, go ahead. So just really good news, I guess, for anyone who just really wants that game now, doesn't, you know, because most games, when they release in Japanese, come with English anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's just the developers, or the publishers, they just sit on their ass on the side. Should we release it elsewhere? Nah, I don't really see the point, you know. I mean, we'd only ever make like 500,000, so
yeah,
I don't know if it's worth. It's money, guys. Come on,
exactly.
Take it if you can.
Plus notoriety on top of money.
Exactly. You know, be the good guys to some extent. And the final story, which was a really weird and interesting one. I think the second time ever we've actually talked about furries or fursuiters on the podcast for positive reasons, which I'm happy about. And that is the fact that during a furry convention, yes, they have conventions if you weren't aware of that, during a furry convention in Canada, a bunch of
Syrian refugees.
A bunch of Syrian refugees were essentially sharing the same hotel the convention was at, and kids just love it.
Yeah,
It's I've seen and read all the pictures, and I thought this was just like just a nice kind of thing, because it was like, because you think of it in the sense of the children. You know, won't somebody please think of the children?
Yeah.
And like,
they're having fun. There are people dressed up in fun furry costumes.
and essentially cartoons. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're happy. They're getting to see like dreams.
after all this stress and, you know, whatever is going on, the situations of getting here and what's going on in the country, we all know what's happening, and just to kind of have a bit of a break and just kind of relax and be kids is really nice. I mean, you know, I think I still would say furries, fursuiters for the most part are generally nice people for the most part. Compared to other fandoms, I think they're pretty cool.
Welcoming.
Yeah, they don't
Like,
care.
they even have a few. They even say quotes about this is not a direct quote, but they a lot of them say like they want to make sure every single refugee feels safe and welcomed, which is really nice to hear.
It is, and I think it was. I think for the last couple of podcasts we've talked about like really dumb and bizarre, stupid things. But I think this one was just generally nice to see for the most part. And just a nice way to end the podcast. I mean, there's so much shit going on in the world right now, and it's nice to kind of have something that maybe revolves this kind of, you know, bullshit, and kind of have a nice positive spin on it. So I think it's really good to hear.
Yeah.
It makes me feel all warm inside, which is nice.
Makes you feel fuzzy.
Yes. So
Makes you feel furry.
Ooh.
fuzzy, you
Yeah,
could have gone
kinky.
for.
He said fuzzy. I said furry.
Alright, well, that pretty much brings us to the end of the podcast for the most part. But before we end it, we'll just quickly, once again, pimp the fact that we have the email address being raccoonplusfriends@gmail.com. And also the fact that hopefully maybe you're listening to this on your iPod, on your laptop, wherever the hell you want to go, as soon as there is a download link, which you will see as soon as you click on the video or as soon as it appears in your feed. So if you're listening to us elsewhere in the world, thanks for that. But every link will be in that little folder. And I guess we'll end with the video of the episode, which I was going to put one video in particular, and I thought, it's a bit racist. So I was like, no. So I'm basically going to go with IGN's The New Ghostbusters Needs More Jasons, which is essentially a trailer mashup of the I think both international and normal theatrical trailer, and they basically put the guy from Ghostbusters 2, who was kind of the sidekick to the main villain, and they just add him in scenes, and the trailer is infinitely better because I think that guy was legit funny.
It actually made it funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. I mean, you know, and I don't know. I don't know if that guy's gonna make a cameo in the second one. They probably will as soon as.
Everyone's in it.
Yeah. Except for what's the guy who's not in it? There's only one guy who's not cameoing in it, and it's I completely forget his name. But
Moranis?
Yeah, Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
Because that guy just like retired from acting.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, I starred in some of the best films of all time. I don't need to act anymore.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, he's great. He still should have been Ant-Man. He still should have been Ant-Man. Because obviously they would have had to change the whole film.
Yeah.
But they should have got him back.
Well, he was already in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
It would have been so much better.
That would have been funny.
Yeah.
It's a Disney film.
I guess. I don't know.
They could have just put the machine in the background. It's what he did after those events.
Could have had him as like his dad or something, just a little cameo.
After he shrunk all the parents, he was like, "All right, I'm going to perfect this now," and then he like turns into the suit. That would have worked so well.
Works,
that would have worked so well.
That actually does make sense.
Or he could have played I forgot who's the other Ant-Man, the older one.
I know him in the yellow one. No, not the yellow one, the original guy.
Yeah, he
either
could have
one.
played the original guy.
Either one would have been fine. I still think he would have been great. I mean,
I think it Michael Douglas? Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas, yeah.
Yeah, I think he did good. So.
Oh yeah, everyone did fine. It's just maybe an alternate universe it would have happened, but yeah. So
reboot coming like 10 years so of the Marvel universe.
Someday, yeah, and then I'm pretty sure once we're 40, there's a bunch of kids screaming, "Oh, it's not my Ant-Man."
Oh yeah. I'd be like, no one can play Iron Man.
This country's going down the drain.
This new generation sucks. Kids always say that.
Says the 12-year-old.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh god. But yeah, anything else you guys want to add before we wrap up the podcast? Anything at all?
Yeah, there was one tiny bit I forgot to mention, which I thought was cool.
Sure.
John Bernthal, who's playing Punisher in the TV show, and Tom Holland, who's playing Spider-Man, they were both in a film together when they were auditioning for Marvel, and they both auditioned together. They worked together and did their audition tapes. So obviously Punisher and Spider-Man auditioning together. I thought that was pretty funny.
It's funny because Punisher and Spider-Man do have a bit of a history as well, along with like Kraven and that.
Yeah, Punisher first appeared in a Spider-Man comic.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty fascinating. Pretty funny.
It is pretty funny. It's funny how they work. I mean, it's a good one. It's not like one of those stupid ones that you see people post where it's like, "Oh man, remember when Batman and Superman went to school together?" And it was like, it's great that you looked up IDW.
Yeah.
Well done.
Exactly.
Well done. You used the internet for research instead of bitching. Well done.
Yeah.
Well fucking done.
Good job.
Yeah.
It's almost as if actors have been in other films other than the ones you were just only hyping about.
Yeah.
Get a life.
Dumb things.
Get a life.
I thought that was cool. They worked together and they both got good jobs, so.
Yeah, good for them. Good for them. It may take 1 year, it may take 10 years, but if you work hard and you're good enough, then hopefully something good will come of it.
Exactly.
We'll see. I don't know about this podcast future, but we'll see. I guess if that's the case, nothing else you want to add? Ferret, look in your direction?
I'm good.
No, I can't think of anything else. Expect more videos on this channel. I definitely have like 3 ready, and hopefully they'll go up someday when I get a break. We have a ton of reviews that will hopefully be going up on the channel. 2 big films in particular, impressions, even a story time. You might see that after this podcast, which should be interesting, as well as maybe a few more surprises, maybe full playthroughs, I don't know. But other than that, I guess I'll end it by saying I am the Angry Raccoon.
I am Ferret.
And I am Ace.
And we will see you on the next one.
Dewey.
Oh, god damn it. Say it again.
Dewey.